Everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of C14 Dating. So we have a new cutscene, and we just came plummeting down the hill after going for that walk and getting lost, and we were late. So this is where we ended up, with Shoji, in the wet screening room. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Shoji watched me stagger into the wet screening room, all scratched with leaves stuck to me everywhere. Melissa, are you okay? I lowered one hand and bent a knee as I caught my breath. Straightening up, I mustered a weak smile while I wiped the front of my shirt. Yeah, the sandbag relics, which didn't work out, and I got chased by a boulder on the way down. Maybe you should consider another career outside of archaeology, Laura Derrick. I chuckled and untied my hoodie, throwing it on while I walked over to the stacks of buckets. And to give up this dangerous lifestyle? Please. Shoji went ahead while I collected the required items, along with the document of a layer that I was working on. When I climbed down the last ladder, I was surprised to find the excavation spot deserted. Oh right, Kyler's at the lab. It only took a quick survey to see that he was nearly done with his first 25-centimeter intervals. He clearly works fast. I wonder if I'll pick up speed. The catchy tunes of jazz played through my earbuds while I concentrated on excavating. I wiped the sweat off my forehead, wondering why I was baking in a chilly place. Eyeing the two heat lamps angled towards the square, I was certain they weren't the cause. Shivering, I rubbed the back of my head and shrugged my shoulders. It can't be because of the job. That was hours ago. I continued to scrape dirt from under a rock. However, the blade trembled, and my movements became shaky. I dropped the tool as dread settled in. Crap. I shoved my hands into my pockets, searching for the hard candies that I had on me whenever my blood sugar ran low. I froze when I realized that they were empty, and I frantically patted myself down. I always carried emergency rations on me. How could... Oh no. They must have fallen out of my pocket when I slid down the slope. This is bad. Not wasting time, I turned for the exit. My heart rate soared, whether from the hypoglycemia or from distress, I wasn't sure. I scurried up the ladder with a burst of adrenaline, but by the time that I reached the next one, my movements were clumsy. I took a deep breath and continued, not wanting to slip. Should I alert someone? Who would know English? My diabetic bag. It would be in the tent. Since I jogged straight to the cave, I skipped breakfast and failed to pick it up too. I panicked, reflecting on my routine and how important it was to keep rigid. Now I was paying for it. Melissa? Oh, who we got? Oh, it's Shoji. A timid voice jolted me out of my inner ramblings. I still clung to the ladder. Well, more like heavily leaned on it and didn't budge. Shoji, you wouldn't happen to have something sweet on you right now? A candy bar or... No? Why? Are you hungry? I hoisted myself up another step, my hand clinging to the railing of the catwalk. It was best to be frank before confusion symptoms settled in and it became difficult to speak. Shoji, don't panic, but I'm feeling low. I'm type 1 diabetic and I need sugar, now. He glanced at my medical bracelet. I felt guilty scaring him like that. However, he did not get as alarmed as I expected, or maybe he was better at hiding it. Should I get you something? No, it's better if I get to the museum before... I trailed off, not wanting to bring up the possibility of seizures or fainting. However, the dangerous implications lingered and we both walked down the alley to the exit. By the time I was outside, I started to stagger. Shoji darted at an arm and held me close to him. Sorry. No, it's fine. No, it wasn't fine. But we had to keep going, and each step felt cumbersome. My body leaned on him heavily, and I forced myself to remain upright the best I could. I'm sorry, I would carry you, but the path is uneven and I don't want to drop you. We're almost there. Just another step. I didn't know how, but we made it to the kitchen area. While Shoji supported me, I heard DeAndre and Kyler snapping at each other behind the counter. The words were in French, but even I could tell it wasn't friendly banter. Shoji tried to address the other two repeatedly. Excusez-moi, pouvez-vous to m'aider? When it proved futile, Shoji took a step forward but stopped to steady me. He was torn between getting their attention and leaving me to raid the kitchen. Before I could encourage him to go on, Melissa, forgive me. What? With both arms, he scooped me up effortlessly. I let out a shrill yelp, which obviously caused quite a sight. Kyler, DeAndre, Melissa fait de l'hypoglycémie. Elle a besoin de quelque chose de sucre. Quoi? DeAndre and Kyler exchanged shocked glances. Kyler went to the fridge with a cup in his hand. Shoji walked over to the benches and set me down gingerly, his arm not leaving my back. DeAndre tried to rush over, but Kyler barked out something harsh. DeAndre retreated with a few steps, his fist clenched tightly. I trembled violently as Kyler knelt down and futilely tried to place the drink in my hand. My fingers quivered, so he held them to prevent further shaking and helped lift the overflowing cup to my lips. The sweetness of apple juice filled my mouth, and I took tiny sips. Amidst all this, I could hear a worried female voice, followed by Hendrik and Shoji exchanging dialogue in French. No one barraged me with questions. While my condition improved, Kyler removed his grip, and Shoji inched further down the bench to give me more space. I licked my lips, then wiped my mouth with an arm as I mumbled behind my knuckles. Merci beaucoup. My amount of gratitude could not be expressed in just 2 words, but I hoped they could sense the heart-filled emotion behind them. How are you feeling? Much better. I admit it's been a while since I've had an episode like that. What was that exactly? You looked as if you were going to pass out right then and there. Don't pester her with questions. She's still recovering. The hell, man? Who died and made you boss? Please calm down. The tension dissolved and the 3 looked at me worryingly. I cradled the cup in my lap as I formulated an answer. I'm okay now, honest. Attempt to crack a joke. Ask Shoji to stay. Request for some time alone. Retire to the indoor lab. Retreat to the tent. Let's get some time alone. There we go. I need to be alone for a while. Recollect my thoughts. Check my glucose levels. Stuff like that. DeAndre and Kyler exchanged glances while Shoji was hesitant. Kyler nodded sympathetically as the other 2 were torn with my wish. You seem well enough. Don't push yourself. Course. Promise. The cooks retreated to the outdoor kitchen and Shoji stood up, unsure of what to do. Shoji, thanks for escorting me here. I couldn't have made it without you. It was no problem. Take it easy, Melissa. After a few deep breaths, I forced myself to stand up, drink still in hand. I grabbed my bag from the tent and retreated to the campfire area, where it was quiet. Moreover, it would be too stuffy in the tent at this time of day. I waited a few minutes, then tested my sugar levels. I kept the apple juice nearby in case I needed to drink more. Oh, phew. Above 70 now. Ugh. Even if the symptoms were gone, I still felt hollow and sick inside from the close call. Being alone made me focus on my internal thoughts too much. I always felt better with company. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.